I fear absolutely nothing in this race. I don't know if you have.
No, I fear nothing either. Hey, my name is Ibi.
And I am Blake. We are two brothers from Toronto, Ontario.
We're lifetime travelers, adventurers, and we're ready to just take a deep dive into our home country.
We're gonna win, honestly, purely just based on the aura and energy that our team has.
We're tall, we're handsome, we're resourceful. Well, I mean, hey, you never know what will benefit you in this race. I'm excited to meet people. Let's learn.
I'm excited to eliminate teams and destroy lives.
Can't wait.
Welcome. Congrats, guys, first of all, for making it to the top 4 of Amazing Race Canada. You guys are honestly so fierce throughout the whole competition. So no surprise that you guys even made it this far. But I want to know, whose idea was it to go on the Amazing Race Canada?
So Ibi and I have both been watching the show our whole lives. Amazing Race and Survivor were our two main family shows that we would watch together. So I feel like it was an unspoken reality that we'd always end up doing it eventually. And after season 9, I just remember just shooting him a text and just being like, "Hey man, let's apply." Like I saw it on the TV that they had it open, and we just applied, and the rest is history.
And you didn't need much convincing, maybe?
Nah, man, this is I'm down all the way. I'm down for the cause, baby. Let's get it.
Nice. Well, how do you guys feel, being in the top 4?
It feels unreal, man. Honestly, being able to check off all the milestones of being on the show has been huge for us. Like watching it since we were young and seeing stuff like U-turns and passports in real life is just visceral for us. So for us to be able to survive a U-turn, win multiple legs, be instrumental in passport strategy, just all these things that we've seen in the show since we were young, is just such an unreal feeling for us. And to make it all the way to the end and to get to say that we experienced all 10 legs and never got to hear those words from John that sorry to tell you you're eliminated is just amazing.
Being this far in the competition, do you guys feel like now that it's more about strategy or more about survival, or do you feel like it's a little bit of both?
As it gets later into the race, there's definitely less risks you can take, less chances, because just one mistake can send you home. Every racer who's racing right now who made it into the finale is really good at this race. So you really can't be making any mistakes. I definitely say survival becomes more and more important as each leg goes on, but strategy will always be a part of me and Blake's game, no matter what. What you guys see on TV is only just one fraction of all the different strategies that we've been implementing. So yeah, even I'd say that strategic gameplay is definitely interlaced to the core of our whole kind of dynamic and flow on this race so far. So yeah, me and Blake are definitely strategic players, and every decision we make comes from a strategic kind of standpoint.
Yeah, just to give you some more color on that, since me and Evie watched the show so intensely, we created protocols based on the mistakes of past racers. So in our little race books, we had maybe we would add them throughout the game, but we ended with maybe 20 protocols of things to either always do or never do. Just kind of tenets to play the game with to not make similar mistakes that we've seen past racers make and maybe go home because of. So literally every decision we made on that entire race was in line with all of those protocols, which I guess shows that, yeah, we're quite strategic players.
Awesome. No, I know you definitely was able to see that throughout the show. Being you guys you obviously spend a lot of your lives together. Is there anything that you feel like you've learned from just being on the show that you didn't know previously? Competing together.
I would say the biggest thing I learned about Ibi is just how truly capable he is. I know that he's exceptional, and I know that we were raised in the same conditions, so I expect him to be amazing, like how I know I'm amazing. But just seeing the degree of what he's able to do out there is just absolutely unbelievable, right? I could just take off the reins and just let him rock. Even in the Arctic episode, the first episode we won, he did the roadblock. He was instrumental in the eating challenge. There were so many things that I couldn't have done without him on this race, and that he literally did better than me on this race. So that would be the biggest learning and takeaway, is that you don't always need to be the big brother when your little brother is so capable.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aw. Really just warms your heart, doesn't it?
Shut up, dude.
So sweet. All right, your turn to warm his heart.
Yeah.
That's so cute. That is so cute. Biggest thing that I learned about Blake, is that, well, I mean, maybe I didn't learn it. It's more of just like reinforcing. It's cool because I know that social situations are kind of both of our bread and butters just in life. But we've never really had the chance to play a social kind of game together. And I know the Amazing Race isn't really a game per se, and there's a lot more elements to success other than social. But that was one of the most fun parts about the race experience, was actually having a hand in the votes and the social kind of dynamics between the other racers with my brother. It was cool because all of those things I could have done alone, but it was nice to see how powerful me and Blake became when it was the two of us kind of uh, putting ourselves out there. And yeah, it was just one thing I learned was just that this guy, when the pressure is on, he can definitely deliver. And it's cool because he will always be the same, whether it's a low pressure situation or high pressure. Yeah, I've seen Blake during this race put just as much passion and importance on the smallest conversations in the airport with another team, because you never know what kind of information you're going to get that will enhance both of our games. So yeah,
Out of all the challenges, what was your guys' favorite challenge and your least favorite?
There's so
there's
many.
some
It's gotta be like
there's
one
so
standout that you
All
many.
the
really
cool
had
ones,
fun
pretty much
doing.
all the cool ones, Evie got to do. Like dog sledding, Evie did. Going between the
Yeah.
buildings, Evie did. You know what I mean? So I can't really like answer one of those ones. Um,
I would say, yeah, dog sledding is definitely up there for one of the coolest things. That's been on my bucket list my whole life. To actually do
Yeah.
it in the Arctic is crazy. And also, just the whole element of having a challenge associated with it too was way more fun than just dog sledding for leisure. You know, I was dog sledding with a purpose. So that was lit. But I really enjoyed the challenges that me and Blake got to collaborate on.
yeah.
Uh, you wanna?
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, in retrospect, even like some of the simpler challenges in the moment, it was really frustrating on the first leg. The canyon, the challenge where you have to do the time going down the track, 1 kilometer track, and you have to say your accurate time within 2 seconds. In the moment, that challenge
Oh
seemed really
yeah.
difficult. And it was really difficult, but it was also the very first leg. So it was cool to be able to collaborate with Blake in that first leg, started off, and we were one of the first teams out of there. So it felt really good to smash a challenge that everyone else was having a tough time on to start off the race. You know, it set us off on a good path for sure.
I have so many favorites, honestly. It was just like such an unreal experience. One that I really liked was finding the tokens in Fort Henry. I think that Evie and I both like used our physical ability, being able to run around, and our searching ability from studying the race, as well as our social ability with kind of being a big part of that negotiation at the end. So that was fun. The face off with Jesse and Jonathan in Quebec was really fun because we really wanted the opportunity to get to go 1-1 against them. And we were able to do that and beat them there, which was fun. Yeah, like honestly, like every single challenge in this race has just been like such a blessing and such like an amazing experience. And like the ones that you're able to do by yourself, you get to challenge yourself, which is so valuable. And then the ones that you get to do as a team, you get to strengthen your relationship. So every single challenge that we've done on this race has like been like a huge part of contributing to who I am today, and I'm grateful for all of them.
So just a bit to wrap up here. So we're all about going the extra mile. So how do you guys go the extra mile, or what does that mean to you? Okay.
I think EB and I go the extra mile by just being entirely authentically ourselves. That's something that you'll definitely see from us on that show. EB and I operated as if there was no camera there the entire time. I genuinely promise you, the way that we acted, the way that we interacted with each other, the way that we did challenges, the way that we interacted with other teams was all entirely authentic and just a complete representation of who we are. We didn't try to come off in some particular way for TV or try to interact with the other teams in a way that would be perceived well for us. We didn't care. We went there to race. Like, we understand like how intense the show can get, and we went in there with intensity and to be our authentic selves. So I would say that we definitely went the extra mile by not relinquishing that authenticity and going on screen being who me and EB are, who we were raised to be, and yeah, just not letting ourselves get caught away and trying to be perceived in a particular way. We're just Blake and EB, man.
That's a great answer. Evie, is there anything else you want to add on?
Yeah, for sure. In regards to the race, the extra mile, I think me and Blake definitely we're going the extra mile from day one. Before the race even began, we were asking everyone we could, what's one piece of advice you can give us? You know, anyone that had some sort of value that they could offer, we would take it and implement it into our own game. Going the extra mile, also just by uh, trying to take advantage of all the beautiful places that we were in. You know, you're racing and you're spending all day running around, getting super tired, but when the leg ends, you're now in a beautiful place, and it's easy to just close your eyes and wake up for the next leg, or you can try and, you know, go the extra mile and really take advantage of that. I mentioned me and Blake when we were in Lake Louise, we got the chance to jump in that frozen lake and do the polar bear plunge. Anytime that we were in like beautiful scenery, we would try and like just stand outside, you know, when we could, and just have a moment to take it all in. So I think that definitely is going the extra mile, because you'll blink and the race is over. You know what I'm saying? So unless you really are trying to be intentional with the things you're doing in every moment, then you're not going to remember it as well. So I think that we definitely did that extra
Yeah.
mileage.
Yeah. Yeah, the Amazing Race Canada is not an average experience, and it's not an experience that you should treat in an average way. If you're not going the extra mile and soaking it all in to the best of your ability, you are shaking it.
I love that. Those great answers. Well, thank you guys both so much. Excited to watch you guys on the finale, and you know, I'm cheering you guys on.